Overpass. Yes, indeed. It's not a B rush, but it might end in the same site as Cole's set up outside. Everyone here, Astralis are playing a full retake setup. Look at this connector control. These guys are mad. Cole are running right in, and they get it for free. Magisk spotting from the back of CT. They're going to try and chase him down. JKS up close. Magisk wasn't ready for that fight, but the bomb gets dropped on the plant. Config dead to the short player. And I say player, it's more players. Look how many members of Astralis are hanging outside of this B-bomb site, trying to isolate Blame. They do a good job. 3-on-3. Cole could go A if this realization is set in. Otto somehow gets away with that plant. They let him live, only to take him down right after. And while it's planted for JKS in heaven, there's 3 USPs v1. The maths does not check out.
What can JKS do? He's getting wrapped by Glaive. They really want to deal with him, and so they will. Let that be a lesson. Dupree, if he wants something, he's going to get it. There's 3 in the round from him. Double up from Glaive, and between the 2 of them, they've locked in a nice little pistol there for Astralis. 1-0 up, and this CT side beginning. I think that is something that is a little bit worrisome, right? I feel like, I see Astralis, I see CT side, then I think, well, they can do a lot here. And then they go into that T half where, they got all these grimy nades, all these grimy executes. I don't know, man. I'm worried. I'm worried for complexity.
Yeah.
I can't help but shake that feeling. And I hate going into a series like, oh, man. I don't have a good feeling about this team right now. Cole, I want them to change my mind.
Yeah, I like that pistol setup as well for Astralis. I wonder how it goes if Cole take an A control round. Do you let them pass in the connector and then come up with a backstab? Does Magis rotate up from B quick as well as you hear them pass? I can only assume. It could be kind of cool to see it, done the other way around. But, because, if you're a T and you get in through B for free like that, you know exactly what Astralis are doing. You know the kind of setup that they've brought in. But it's common to get, bathrooms, short A, toilets, all of that for free as a T early on. See, Astralis aren't even playing it in this round, and they're anti-eco. It's just Dupree and connector. He spots mid, he goes back to safety, knowing that if he lets them pass, he can come in with a bit of a backstab. Glaive. Grime in it at long, tucked in on the corner. Dupree's escaped connector to the safety of the B-bomb site. Bye, Config. See you next round.
Oh.
Didn't even see Glaive.
Oh.
Oh, that was dead on, but nothing. And now Glaive re-aggressing. That's the last thing that Cole are going to expect. Blame is holding for it, but gone to Glaive. Magisk with a follow-up, and now Astralis just getting rid of these pistols. Easy does it. It's only rush. Beautiful.
I think it's just how much Astralis are looking to fight that scares me, right? Like they're not shying away from it. They're not going, all right, yeah, there's a couple of pistols left. Let's just play these smart crossfires and do what Astralis often do, which is make it really rough for our opponents to actually get into a bomb site. They're like, nah, there's 3 short, and Device is like, there's 3 short. That's 3 kills for me. Like swinging into it with a USP out, and that's very, very worrisome because that just exudes confidence right now from Astralis. We already saw enough of it back on Dust. Glaive going to go up into the party early on, and this hasn't been spotted by these mid players, so they don't know about him. Dupree playing the connector as well. That nade going to do nice little bit of damage onto Rush, brings him down to that one-shot headshot realm. Dupree's out of there.
Oh, is he going to get it in? Oh. They're not ready for Glaive, but that's a transfer from Config. Sprays from the toilets back to the face of his opponent. Device surely not going to be able to get back into the site, but the flash is good. Dupree will die for him. Get down, Mr. President. Device is on A, but he's so low. And Cole, they can go wherever they want. It's a 5-on-3. It's a perfect round right now. Just hanging on, holding on, waiting for something to come their way. Zip leaves Monster to set up for what would be a faster rotation if this ends on that top site. And I say faster rotation, he's just doing it preemptively. Gambling on A with 3 CTs. Oh, I like this play as well. Cole aren't committing anywhere. They're sending JKS out B. He's going to figure it out. Okay, B's clear. You guys can come down. Or no, B's got 2. You should go top. The only issue is 25 seconds, but there's no one on B to punish the bomb coming through short. So I say that Device is in heaven with a scout. He's the only guy who can win this round with a well-placed shot onto the bomb player. There's one missing it across. Otto does get the plant. And that's a round for Cole, pretty much guaranteed. Config's even looking to put the knife in the back, as he has done on Overpass in the past. Hearing everything. There is that backstab. Magis dead. Device grabs a real gun. Astralis try and save on long.
Getting out with something at least. And if they keep these two players alive, most crucially, they can still buy in this next round. I mean, truthfully, even if they lose one, they're still good for a buy. They will be lacking that much in terms of utility. So we're not going to see any fights offered up by Astralis. Complexity arrive with their first on the board, though, nice and early. Now, this was nice from Config, right? This little opener that he's able to secure that helps Rush get deeper in, dealing with Dupree. And so, you know, that kind of confidence, that urge to take these fights, betrays Astralis early on. Now, will that make them turtle down and play more of the kind of style that we're used to seeing? Where the aggression's a bit more calculated and a bit less just, you know, trying and looking for gunfights no matter the cost. Because if so, Cole are gonna have to switch things up a bit. There's a peek from Glaive. I don't know how he wins that. Like, I was thinking, well, Glaive's dead. That's easy for Blame. Blame don't miss those.
Well, Glaive is dead, on the bright side. Well-placed nade. Are they going to contact LB again? Oh, Config just sneaking through. Zip doesn't know. Config does. Oh, the shot's a mess. Zip living on 10. JKS kills Magisk in the same time, and Rush has run right into the site with the space gain from that entry. It's a 2-on-2. Device trapped in the pit right now. JKS, oh, there's a missed molly. He's still going to hunt down this kill. Device is throwing utility, and that's a free frag. Dupree with a one-on-one as he waits for the bomb. Otto up in the site already. Dupree does not know. Trying to find JKS while he still can. Checking everything. There's the frag. Otto gets off the plant and does win that one-on-one. Big kill for Otto. And a call around under locks. 2-2.
Tying us up nice and early. Complexity, bringing the heat over on this T side. These slow B creeps have been working. Now there's no money left for Astralis. So this is where, you know, if you're Complexity, you're kind of chomping at the bit to finally be in a position where you're leading in this series. Haven't seen it yet. This should be the round for it. I love this B site Complexity. It's been treating them well. Where's that Zeus at? Device has got the Zeus long. Not the ideal position for it,
No,
if
it's
I'm
perfect.
being honest.
Perfect. Longest range gun in the game, 80-1.
See, one of the Zeus strats I love on this map is one that you've shown me a lot, Hugo, which is you fast run short and then you surf on the the kind of like short wall.
If anyone takes a short B spawn on T side and you take your spawn, well,
he's ready for it.
Who's holding that?
Like, look, even, Zip! No, they don't know! And there you go. That was kind of the culmination of all the excitement in this round, and now back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Zeus.
Device does know that Zeus is a short-range weapon, right? Someone passed that along.
Oh, here they come.
Oh,
don't run. Don't run, Blame.
Don't give him the info.
Oh.
That's a bit, even Device is laughing, man.
What can you do? Yeah, if you take a short B, if a T takes a short B spawn and you as a CT takes a short B spawn with a Zeus and you surf on that thing and then you hit them as soon as they come out of the tunnel, that can be a nice little for you. Of course, JKS holding for the triple boost. Very aware mans like JKS. But 3-2, Cole in control. But for how much longer? Astralis have their full buy, and Device is on the AWP as well. Full rifles for Cole. Double nades into mid. Glaive takes 1 damage and then gets flashed in, but they've already crossed into the playground. He won't hang around. Device is AWPing B short. Re-smoke into Monster. Coming from Zip on the barrels. Gonna be back to A long. Glaive is jumping and spotting. Will get flashed off, but can definitely get a couple more jumps in for that information, especially with no AWP to stop him. He spots him. Gives it up eventually. They're still really leaning B. Astralis, 4 players down lower. Running up is Dupree. Device spots the door open, but he's being played with and he knows it. Even he begins to rotate. Showing that AWP B and immediately getting out of there is going to be the misinformation for Complexity that they won't know until it's too little too late. Re-smoke on Monster as the A play comes in.
Oh, Device posted up. Deals with config on his peak. And now Cole, they still want to follow through with the A play, but with 3 here on the Astralis side, it's not going to be easy. Glaive's actually gone aggressive down through long, and that gives a lot more room to these players back in the site. They don't have to worry about it anymore. They're only looking at short, so Dupree raining death down from inside of the site. Good for a double. And Glaive emerging late can stop the bomb plant. That there is a distant memory. JKS removed as well.
Wait, they're all A.
Yeah, and that must be how it felt right there. You know, like you go in, you don't know what you're running into. You deal with the first man after he's just everywhere. Like Dupree's reposition from Dice over the truck with that smoke down on the flower beds is great. Like they completely avoid him in that sense. And then when they finally deal with him, while the smoke fades, there's Device. You're a bit irritated by that one. And you had Glaive aggressing over at long to free up those players in the site. Well, that comes back later in the round when he's able to deny the bomb plant.
Yeah, Otto's on the AWP now on this T side as well. Glaive is taking B short. The molly is down, and so he has control over the water. JKS is walking through, but those legs can be seen. JKS sticking to the close wall. Oh, that drop gets hurt. Blame knows. Nade on the door. JKS's timing is perfection, and Glaive is looking the wrong way. Didn't clear out the tunnel fully. Double long. Device scoping in deep. With Dupree playing close. Device is going to back up, leaning back towards B maybe. Otto looking for a pick. Zip might give it up. Legs spotted, but no kill. Any re-aggression for Astralis? They are a man down. It could be justified, but okay. Wait for them to come to you, perhaps. JKS gets traded by Rush. Zipix still stuck in the site alone.
Oh. Through the floor, Zip strikes. Only good for 1 as Config keeps this dream alive for Complexity, and a very, very lengthy rotate ahead of Dupree. Losing Device there to Config's just tear into B. Leaves this solo Astralis player in a pretty much undoable situation. All he does is tap Otto on the shoulder like, look, Monster next time, and then runs away. That's it. He's giving out advice, tutorials while he's playing. Never been done before. Complexity onto 4 as well. Keeping this lead up. Anytime it looks like Astralis is going to try and get it back under control, Cole are just in with like some incredible B play. And this B site has been a reoccurring problem now for Astralis. So many of these Complexity rounds, when they've come into it, have just been where they found all their success. Over at A, it has often been very, very contested. Heart can't take any more of them, man. I hope that's the last one in this series.
Yeah, nice trade work for Cole coming into B, right? Looks good. Even though Magis catches that short kill, he can't escape. Money for Astralis hasn't really been there. Once you have that full CT bank, once you have that AWP, maybe even double available, you can really run wild, but Cole are running a lot of very slow rounds. Astralis have conceded middle, and every single one of them playing towards long A often. So already a good showing for Cole. This is where Astralis realize they've got to take this one up a notch. It's not just going to be a free, easy 2-0. They may have taken dust without too much of a hitch. But Overpass is a different map entirely. Device on a scout, and the buy is here. It's not perfect, but it will do. Mid molly goes into the playground, not into the stairwell. Zip takes B water again. And the toilet smoke down for Otto. So a lot of room being given to Cole in middle. Dupree is waiting in the connector. The only man to really stop any kind of A progress. Device is just on the site trying to re-aggress. He's going to flash Dupree's peak, but no one there, nothing to be seen. Down to rush in lower. Dupree with a nice spray. He could even aggro, he could even full flank at this point if he wants to. And yeah, looking interested by the idea, but smoked off instead. I mean, this is a really important position as well for Dupree, right? Cole have been using Con to do a lot of late rotates with that bomb between the two bomb sites. So Dupree now owning that keeps Cole out of bounds. They've got to commit to wherever that bomb was from the get-go unless they want to wrap T-spawn, which takes significant time. So JKS lurking outside B, everyone else on that top site, re-smoked at Monster. And still with Dupree to deal with, Blame is walking right past. Will Dupree catch him on a timing? If not, he might catch Otto instead.
Yeah, not only as the AWP, but also as the bomb as well. 20 seconds at this point, it has to be the A play. It has to be. JKS can't even come in on the lurk. He's mollied off, and now they realize, well, no matter what you see at B, it's not going to be this B play. It is A indeed. They deal with JKS down at the B site, and for the remaining two, they're walking into a lost round. There just simply wasn't time for it. They leave it down to the wire, and they're betrayed by the clock.
For AWP as well.
Upgrade for Device, certainly not the weapon you want to be putting in his hands. And yeah, that round there, it's a bit of a shame. I think JKS wanted to go sooner into B, but Astralis hold on to the utility, and that Molotov going into the tunnel actually stops him from faking, from doing his job. He just has to sit there and wait for it. And so that part of the plan never actually comes into fruition. There was never a reason for Astralis to doubt that it was going to be the A play.
Device posting back on long. He missed the timing to playground, but he won't get it the second time around. Perfect shot to Blame. Even spots Config as that smoke blooms, who was looking at connector. Dupree tries to tackle with him, and he will win the battle. Nade follows up, but they're all out long instead. Device back in the site, posted. They reroute through toilets. Magis on an early rotate up to join Device as well. Dupree's even going to come as a third man. Astralis have had the reads in every one of these rounds. They are in the right place again. Re-smoking toilets. Magis now limits them to only Divider if they want to fight middle. And he re-aggresses. Spam could be perfect. Oh, nade instead. That will do. You might even hear the damage. Rush gets tagged up pretty heavy. Magis now knows he's in the toilet. Rush going to try and bound out Dupree with a kill. And these pistols should get made quick work of. They do. Magis with another. Otto's Deeg, what do you got for us? Bomb dropped, Device posted. Otto just looking for anything but a bullet.
Well, wouldn't you know, mate? He unboxed the bullet, didn't he? Oh, 5-4, Astralis back in the lead. It's been pretty tightly contested. But finally breaking the money of Cole. Sees them now, sat with that little round advantage tucked under their belts. Complexity you want to try and get back into it. And I almost wonder if we see them go back to B, right? It's tried, it's tested, it hasn't failed Complexity as often as these A-site plays have. And Astralis seem to think the same thing. They send Device alone into middle to go for this info play. And Astralis make use of that four-man stack down at the B site, right? They send Zip aggressively down through short, comfortable in the knowledge that even if he falls to attempt call into a three-man stacked B site, he doesn't fall, he doesn't falter, and instead he gets away with this short control. A lot of information for Astralis to have, and this helps them make more informed decisions now. That double rotate up towards A is thanks to this aggression. Down through the short side of B.
Oh, the jump as well. Even sees Rush. Nade will take the door out and re-aggro Glaive. Oh, supported, but gone. From the action, Zip can't trade that. He's going to try and back up into B. Doesn't want to get exploited on Monster as now they start grouping in towards his B bomb site. Bomb's coming through spawn. Zip is trapped. He's stuck, but he still gets a kill onto Blame, who's checking close. No need. Zip doubles up. They'd already killed the water player. Cole just down to a monster rush. This short play has not gone how they wanted, and it's going to get worse by the second. Dupree flashed in for a second, and it's all on config coming through. Blatant as anything. Nice jump, but Dupree with a spray, and the final bullet headshot puts Astralis on 6. Damn. Yeah, that B play coming back down Con rather telegraphed, and I don't know how Zip gets away with that, really. Trapped to the sandbags.
And so this is where Astralis are really going to look to just strengthen this lead. Oh, all right. Kick them while they're down. Device gets aggressive in through middle. I mean, with only pistols here for Carl, they're relying on, you know, stripping a couple of guns away, making Astralis panic, and then kind of relishing in the chaos, just kind of slowing it down past that fact. Rush has got past Dupree and Toilers.
Nope.
So he should have that locked in, but they still don't know about Device. He's like, you guys have Deegs, I have Deeg too, let's go! And he lines up a double with it. Wants to have a nice even fight. Well met over in the toilets. Astralis on to 7. Complexity back in with the investment once again, but this first half now, running out of rounds left to play. Cole need answers.
Yeah, it's the culmination here. It's the do or die, because this could be a really one-sided half, or it could be Cole still winning it out. Which way do we go? Where does the pendulum swing? As Cole need to win this rifle round if they want anything to say in their T side right now against Astralis, who, as you said, Harry, have got a few tricks up their sleeve. Yet to be seen. Dupree posted with a second AWP, and it's actually the only AWP, bro. He takes it over Device from spawn, and Device is supporting in toilets. Maybe they'll swap back later in the round, but right now he is waiting. Nothing there. Rush is hiding on the right side. He doesn't know. As the rest of Cole charge up A long, JKS continues to sell his B fake. He's used all of his grenades already. Limited array. Astralis, they're not falling for anything. They actually doubt the Glaive rotate, but they will move Magis up instead. They still have Dupree in the connector as well, so he can come in on this backstab, or even kill the late mid players who have left that B bomb site. JKS and Rush side by side. Tucked is Device, but he goes out with a flash and finds one. Dupree, did he get spotted? I thought he did, but no one's hunting him down. They'd rather focus on the site. Device is re-aggroed into toilets as well.
Glaive's already rotating up, so he's going to get here nice and early. Things have gone from bad to worse for Complexity. Device hunting these kills down, and it comes down to this long play. Only Blame F left standing, and a nice flick there to deal with Glaive, but surely this is where his journey's put to an end. And it's Dupree, long range with the AWP. To do exactly that, tack timeout for Complexity. And, you know, because this game was close at one point in time, and it's only in these last, 3 or 4 rounds that Astralis have actually started to really pick up momentum. You don't have this this incredible bank account yet for Complexity. Even with that loss bonus pouring in, a bomb plant really would have made all the difference in that round there, because they fully invest into it. So even with that loss bonus, the fact that no kills come through, no bomb plant found, it's another partial investment.
Stressful times right now for Cole, and not to be any kind of surprise, even when it feels like, you know, they're doing their best to fake things out and keep Astralis guessing. Astralis always have the triple stack on the right bomb site wherever Cole end up, and then to add in is often a player and connect, often Dupree just coming in on the backstab. He wasn't needed there. Device killed all the toilets players, but even if he didn't, Dupree would be in the right place at the right time. Cole back to B out of spawn. Not seen by Device, but he's here for the first time on Monster with the AWP, and he finds the first of the round. Dead to the pistols are him and his teammate, as B is overrun by Complexity, but it's not done at that. Magist coming in from heaven with another kill. Tucked close is Rush, not for long. He dies a hero, though, because that sets JKS up for another frag. One player with health as well, needed that one, needed to stay alive in this 2v2. With the AWP, Otto is waiting, trapped in B. JKS didn't want to cross past heaven, so he doubles back round Monster for a different angle of approach. Glaive is going for the full wrap round. He heard him in water, and so he's checking there's nothing in T-spawn. That will slow down any kind of retake attempt for Astralis, meaning Cole are likely not going to get given a kill here until they plant the bomb. But you never really want to plant the bomb when you know Astralis are nearby.
This nade on Glaive even could do a lot, right? With Otto so low. A lot of this round falling onto the shoulders of JKS. And he's playing this close left. This is wall-bangable, right? That scares me. It always scares me. That nade going in as well. Oh, that's a hell of a flick. My goodness. Otto gets it down to the 1v1. Oh, the nade, but it's actually Glaive peeking with it. Fakes him out.
Did he get stuck? Maybe trying to dodge a flash. Maybe he's stuck on the side of the ramp there. That was an awkward one. But Astralis, they just keep it up, man. They're just not stopping. Really nice, slow, calculated 2v2. Even though JKS, he flicks back, almost does the dirty onto the close player. Still going to be... Yeah, look at him. Boy, oh boy. Device finally denied a pick in middle. He gets flashed off. JKS through the smoke. And Magix pays the price. And man, just when you think you know where Device is playing, he's already on the other side of the map. He took the mid shot, and now he's in heaven. Dupree's pushed up on A long. They're waiting for this. Bomb coming back in through spawn late as well. They haven't cleared the connector, but Russia is working on it. Dupree, what's his timing on the flank? He's had good timing so far from connector, but this one he hears nothing so far. There's the AWP shot. Molly's into toilets. Dupree knows they're nearby. When will he strike? Because right now, Cole could walk into A and plant the bomb, and no one will be able to stop him.
Oh, Device, yeah, trying to reclaim some territory here. Astralis not content with how this round is kind of shaping up. They were hoping that could have been a difference maker, but instead it's made the problem worse. The floor kind of belongs to Cole at this point. Like, they can end up anywhere, and it will be Astralis on the back foot, especially with, as you mentioned, this A site essentially given up. It's forced to rotate out of Glaive. And so Zip was alone in holding that B site. From beyond the grave, he burns out JKS. Trades himself, actually.
Yeah, he was team flashed.
And it's opened a 2-on-3 up. Glaive dropping this smoke, trying to play through it. Ballsy, but he has picked up the kill to Otto. And so now this was looking so good for Complexity. Well, now there's a chance, even though it's the 1v2 for Glaive, that nade is good. And it pulls the attention away for just a moment, allowing Blame to capitalize. This was 6 in a row for Astralis, finally silenced now, with Complexity winning that one there. But it wasn't comfortable. It wasn't squeaky clean like it looked like it was going to be at one point in time. It still comes down to the wire.
Yeah, 6-round half would be good for Cole. They'd probably be pretty happy with that. So, you know, still salvageable yet. Astralis have a big buy yet again. The money is good. Device on the AWP. Posted slower in toilets this time. We actually have the boost up. They're trying to deal with JKS, who's been a bit of a nuisance out short water on his lonesome B lurks. Rush is going to try and molly them off, forcing them back up. Device, nice shot, finding config early, out long. And again, Cole just default right now. Otto in mid. Rush coming up connector, 2 outside of B. Glaive's even got a flash ready for Dupree in middle, and Device is going to try and swing with it. It's a great flash. Dupree finding another. Rush is trying to trade, but he's been re-smoked at the toilets, and the bomb's still back in spawn. This is a very loose round for Cole. They're hoping for someone to do something, but everyone's dying in their first gunfight. It's a 2-on-5, almost no way out of this one.
Yeah, right now you're hoping that Astralis get too cocky, kind of overplay their hand, and they're not budging. JKS, well, someone has got to go back to get this bomb. Looks like it's going to fall to Rush. Man, it always falls to Rush. He's going to go back and get it. Like the champ he is. There we go. Nice and clean. Now looking to rejoin his old mate down here towards short. But 3 players tucked in towards this B site. 1 flash to try and set them up. Rush can throw that up and over, but instead it's the early peek. They spot him on the sandbags. It is Rush left all alone, and it doesn't happen, does it? Astralis 10-5, once again, another dominant first half from the Danes. Can they keep it going? Can they keep the good times rolling in and 2-0 this series? We're gonna have to wait and see.
Dreaming big and aiming high. Name the clouds passing by. Wishing we run away. All we need is our passports, baby. Leave the rest in our troubled minds. Let us go down in laughter, baby. Trying to figure out what we're after. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after. Baby, leave it all for the faded hearts. I don't mind if they call us crazy, 'cause they don't understand what we're after. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after. I'm running out of time, and as long as you're mine, I wanna run away. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after.
Wow, Astralis doing it again, right? Another strong half from them, and Complexity struggling to pick up the pieces here. 5-round T-side, it's not disastrous, right? That's not bad, and it's something you can build upon. But if you lose that pistol, if you're not able to find success in force buys, if that first rifle don't go your way, well, suddenly you're staring down the barrel of an 0-2 performance here, opening up against Astralis. Pressure is really on now for Complexity.
Cancel.
And this don't look live.
NL, Rush has crashed or something. He was AFK, now he's back, but I think we're just restarting. Should be quick into the second half of this series, or this map and series. And maybe the last half of this series, Harry, if Astralis have their way, right? They took a dominant win back on Dust 2. They 10-5 their T-side there and closed it out with only 2 rounds dropped in the second half. Cole are gunning for something, for anything at this point, but it's never going to be handed to them, not on a plate. So here we go, back in, live this time around. Glaive with the util, Rush with the kit flashes. Pretty standard buys as far as things go. Otto's playing close mid. He hears him running con. Very fast, very loud. Here's the flank from Blame in the back. Glaive with the bomb. Might have spotted him there. He's looking very attuned to Blame's position. They're going to come back from Party. Yep, that was the spot. And Astralis with the drop onto Blame. Big kill to open up. It's going to make Cole pad the A site. Stack it up with 3. Leaving Config alone on B. Will Astralis read into this fact? Or will they just run in, all guns blazing, and try and take down these USP players? Device has got one of his own as he clears out close. He's got Rush and Otton to deal with on long. Rush baiting them in, Otton on the corner.
Oh, well, they're not able to get past him. So at least a 4-on-4 right now, and JKS holding for this con rotate. Now, that does leave Config alone back in the site, so you're hoping he can put up a bit of a hold here. Hidden behind the pillar, looking to try and elevate this team, but instead just dropped right away. And in tandem with that, JKS was discovered and dealt with down in Connector. There's the wraparound from Otto to at least deliver this 2-on-2 and give Cole a fighting chance. Kit on Rush as well. That's going to give you precious time to play with here if you are Complexity. Rush out through CT. Spotted now. Glaive trying to deal with him. They lose Otto. It's short, and Rush falls shortly thereafter. Astralis do get that pistol round. And now with conversions likely to follow unless we have like an aggressive purchase here from Cole, this can get out of hand very, very quickly.
Yeah, I saw a scout on Blame, so I can imagine Cole are going to force up in this one, right? It does mean your first buy round, while it will come later, it will be better. You'll have more loss bonus, so yeah, pretty standard stuff, but Astralis, don't know if they're planning on giving away many many ecos. That body towards Pit was even blocking Rush from seeing the close player in water. So not an easy retake by any means for Cole. And as said, loser of this series, if it is to be Complexity, will go down to face Vitality in that lower bracket bottom group match for elimination here at the Global Challenge. Not an easy matchup. We're Astralis, and it doesn't get any easier.
No, it really, really doesn't, right? Like, it's only the uphill battle continuing. If you drop on down, Vitality not going to be an easy team to beat. I will say, though, and this is something we kind of talked about on the desk, is that I'm happy that Astralis is showing up here looking this dominant, right? Like, they're not having one of these slow starts to the tournament where you get a bit worried. I think if Complexity were actually challenging Astralis here like a hell of a lot, if these games were mega, mega close and it felt like, oh, anyone could take it, that would be a pretty bad look for Astralis. And that's not the case right now. That's not where we find ourselves. The Danes are looking dominant.
Just for full transparency, ladies and gentlemen, we are currently experiencing a ping issue with one of our players, so that is why we're slightly delaying things as we get things back on track, but we'll be back with you shortly. If you're Complexity right now, what's going through your head? Here you go.
Help.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, this is really, you've kind of entered like worst case scenario territory in that you lose that pistol, you've gone 5-11 down, you're trying to do what you can. But as we mentioned, it leaves very, very little buffer here between you and then, like, you know, Astralis actually just closing this out dominantly. Essentially, you're going to have 2 rifle rounds, if you end up losing them, to try and battle back into this game. And that's, you know, that's assuming everything goes according to plan with, like, anti-ecos getting closed out for Astralis and the likes. So it is a bit of a rough spot to be in. It's not a nice one to have to call from if you're Blame F. You just got to have faith that when the rifles come out, when you're fighting with everything you've got, that you are able to beat Astralis playing your system. But I do think that, you know, because you've got that stand-in, you've got Otto here, it is going to be kind of magnified and made that much harder. I think even if you had Poison in the server right now, you'd still be feeling pretty worried about how this second half is going to shape up.
Yeah.
I really hope we see Otto bringing this AWP out and giving a bit of time to shine, because, you know, we still haven't seen a lot from him. And, you know, as we kind of discussed with Blame, and as we figured, right, with the addition of Otto replacing Poison at this event due to health reasons is, you know, I don't think we were looking for some lights-out AWPing presence in the server, but it would certainly go a long way right now, especially with guys like Device looking so good. So hopefully this CT side AWP is where we can see Otto find his footing a little bit.
Well, Otto is going to be finding his router's footing right now. He's doing a little bit of a nifty restart. So, boys, we're going to take a break, reset ourselves, and you guys at home, surf and chill.
Oh, hi there. We didn't expect to see you guys here. Look at this, right? Right now we're looking at Glave's nice old head. Oh, we even got Zips in there as well. Who else we got on the docket? Anyone else to tick off? Because right now, Astralis, they are kind of ticked off. They're 11-5 up. They're looking good. And now we're in this bit of a kind of awkward time period where Complexity are faced with this decision. Like, do we force buy? Do we just play for rifles as fast as we can? And we're hoping to get the answers to those questions ASAP. Right now, a pretty dismal scenario lies on Complexity's plate. They've got a big old comeback ahead of them. And while on Dust 2, they were able to start to make it feel a bit more competitive at one point in time. It was too late in the game for any real shot at a comeback. So here, they need to get ahead of it. They need to put results out in front of us right here, right now.
Yeah, and I don't want to get ahead of myself and start cursing this game, but, you know, as we've talked about what happens if you lose this matchup, let's talk about what happens if you win. If Astralis were to close it here and now, they go on to take big on in a BO3 to get through the group in first place. That's cool. They were waiting all year to play big man. They finally did the other day, and they took a 2-0 as well. There was one competitive map, I think it was Nuke, and the other one was a blowout. So, yeah, a rematch there. I hope if we do get that, we get to see the level that Big brought today. They looked fabulous against Vitality. Had some great rounds. So, yeah, that's a really cool potential upper group A matchup. If you're here early, thanks for coming. We obviously have Na'Vi versus Furia, the next best of 3 covered later. So, a whole day of Counter-Strike. In fact, a whole week of Counter-Strike. Some of the best teams the North American and European and CIS region have to offer.
It's taking us right up to Christmas, boys. It's like an early Christmas present.
It's our 7 days of Christmas. It's not quite, you know.
It's not quite 12, but it's enough.
It'll do.
Yeah. How many matches have we got? We've got 6. I can't do maths.
Never do maths on stream, Frankie. That's your first
That is
mistake.
like rule 1. I can't, yeah, the moment you got to 6, I know, like, it's... Yeah, that
I've been at home for a long time. Now I've been on the road. This is my 5th week away from home.
You don't even know where you are now.
When you're at home, you can discreetly get the calculator up, and then like no one knows anything. But here, we don't have access to that. We've only got abacuses, and that's not very helpful in this situation. Or abaci, I guess. There's multiple.
12 matches.
We have 12 matches?
Yes. Not going to say how many maps because it's hard to predict. But
well, you don't want to leak the script, obviously. That's the whole thing.
Yeah. Basically, I'm a bot and I need all the maths done in my ear and everything. I actually don't...
Did someone tell you it was 12? Is that why?
No, I did it myself. I was going to say, right.
All right.
Someone had done it for me. Essentially, I just repeat what I'm told in my ear the entire show. Nothing is my own independent thought. Everything is fed to me through my ears.
Oh, so you have that too? I thought it was just me and Hugo. That's good to know, at least.
Here we go, though. We're back
Hey,
in.
look, we're back. And look, we do get our complexity. They did force bite. Whoa! All right, so there it is, right? Double scout, couple of pistols as well.
All right, all right, all right. Playing with the mid-peak. Oops, out for Astralis. What is this? Call of Duty? Maybe with the speed and pace that Glaive takes that mid-peak, killing one of the two scouters. Blame manages to get back safely with the molly and connector. There is no way back up for Astralis. They have to wait it out, and they are being flanked by Config in the B water area. JKS can rotate up if need be, or if need A, because that seems to be where this one's ending up. I say that, the bomb's back in spawn and everyone's running for it. The full human centipede back towards a T-spawn and into this B bomb site.
Config's aggro is short as well, so he's going to hear this. He knows it's likely this B hit with all these footsteps coming in. But he's a long way away from being able to help out JKS, who just has to make a stand solo. And him dealing with Glaive gives him a little window of opportunity to actually get out of the site and now set up to play retake in the 4-on-4. Dupree also realizes, like, hang on, I'm going aggressive, I've got the bomb. So now he has to go back and get that down. While this has happened, Config's boosted up and would have been in with a chance there, perhaps. Instead, falling off the head, they disassemble the boost. Magis shockingly aware that...
Ooh.
What? All right, Config, over the top of that smoke, dispatches of Magisk. Still a tricky retake to maneuver, but Config leading the charge up against Dupree and Device. Now just Dupree left standing. And the pistols will deliver. The force by giving results over to Complexity.
That looked done, mate. Magis, he's ready for the boost. If that smoke doesn't one-way him, that's probably just Astralis closing it, but they boost up. It favors Config on the one-way. He gets the kill. They flash in, and they just chase down Astralis. Look at this kill. How the hell? We saw it from Magis' perspective. You could barely see a thing. A nice follows up. Neither of those work, so we'll go with both. From JKS running in with a Deeg for the retake. Cole, they've bought themselves a lifeline. They've bought themselves a chance as they win their force buy in round number 2 of the half. Of course, Astralis buy back in. They ain't respecting you. It's 11-6. But a quick tack before they do to figure out how they want to disperse this weaponry and where they want to go with it.
I tell you what, that little JKS 1-Deeg in the B site, it felt kind of inconsequential at the time, but it ends up coming in clutch. It allows that short boost to come in and the 4v4 retake to be attempted. Well, then that nets Config, the opener, into the retake. And so it's like a domino effect, right? Like one kill that didn't really feel like much at the time ends up having some pretty resounding implications in the round. Now we've got Zip and Glaive with the 2 rifles here for Astralis. Nade out in towards mid, finds good damage onto Device. Astralis looking like they want to try and take Connector. They dispatch their finest agent in the ranks, Dupree, to clear this position on the map. He was a real nuisance in Con on that CT side. Well, he's looking to keep it up here in the T half as well. He gets it under control. Never even challenged. So that's free territory here for Astralis. You never want to give Astralis freebies. You always dread what they can do with this map control.
Yeah, Blame might have good timings here. He's got to kill Device first, but that should be easy with him low on a Deagle, alone. Otto backing up with a kill. Ooh, Device is hiding behind tree. Blame checks long, he sees nothing, but they're holding him. And Toilet, the lineup is there. The spray is good, and Blame gets a double before he departs the round. Set call up for a 7th. Astralis relying on 2 guns, and 2 guns alone as they move towards A. Double truck setup, bomb is left back, but really, the chance of getting a plant is pretty low. That being said, you've got to take it with you. You've got to always believe, just in case. Glaive can set up util on this A site, smoking the dumpster and flashing Device into a battle. Here comes the truck flash. How good will it be? There's 2 players here. It could be huge. Conflict's flashed out Device. Oh, he's waiting from a CT flash up the stairs. Glaive tries to follow up, but he cannot. And if that CT flash doesn't come out from Rush, that's probably a double entry for Device and maybe a chance at the round after all in the 2-on-4. Not to be. Cole keeping this one alive. 7, and they force Astralis rather into an eco. Little bit by bit, Cole get more in this matchup.
Yeah, now breaking the money. This is their real way back into this game. Also, we've got the AWP in the hands of Otto. He gets 3 with the MP9 that round, so he was just flushed for cash. Only Glocks for Astralis. So odds are nothing really mind-blowing going to happen in this round, but I would love to, well, I say I'd love to be proven wrong. I actually don't want the Glocks to do anything because that's how it should be. But it's always fun if they do. They're going to run boost Device out past long. Now the AWP isn't here. It's actually short side playing in tandem with Blame F. So this run boost, yeah, it's cool that they're doing it, but it's never going to actually accomplish anything. Bomb dropped over in middle. And Blame, very, very content at taking these gunfights. Now, not so content. Glaive also drops that M4 back into mid.
Oh no.
Config's re-aggressing and almost blindsides Magis, but he manages to get the reload off. Config down low, able to get the situation. How are the Glocks getting so many devices?
Oh, God.
Otto, man, I know you wanted to bring one out for a while. And so Device has just completely ruined your day throwing that out the map.
Wow. That's insult to injury right there. You can buy one up if you're JKS and drop it over. There's a chance, but that's a great play for Device. And, you know, he easily could have stuck around and tried to go for more kills, try to even win that round with no armor and an AWP. It is Device. He's got 20 kills. Like, yeah, respect for throwing it out. Definitely could have been a chance to fight there, but he'd rather deny Cole the weapon themselves. They do buy it back up. Rush dropping the AWP over. But it's still a costly investment, and one that Astralis aren't interested in yet. They've still got full guns into another rifle round. Big nade into middle does nothing. Blame on the middle does catch Device. Trapped in connector is Config. Smoke on the molly. Oh, they're going to try and spray him away. The nades instead can keep him trapped. Config bounding out and is somehow down to 30, but living to tell the tale. He's even going to hang on in connector, won't try and escape to middle, despite them having that control. He may even go back for fights. Astralis in a 4-on-5. They may have painted a lot of damage onto 2 of these players, but no kills being offered up to trade their way back into this round. The bomb is going to leave outside of B as Dupree tries to clear connector, knowing that Config is likely still here, and he doesn't have a molly to get him out of this position. So Dupree's got some checking to do. Config, will he swing on a timing? Yes, that's perfect. If he waited, he probably would have been hard checked. Instead, it's Otto helping out, finding Magis in middle. Config backing up, here's the feet, and drops the bomb as well. Glaive in a 1-on-5. And Cole, they are just not giving up. They are not going down.
30 seconds, the bomb down, and a 1v5. There's no way back into this for Glaive. It just isn't happening. He manages to get the bomb, but it might just be grabbing it to go save over here in T-Spawn. 20 seconds left, and he's just trying to hold on to the AK. Complexity back in this game. It didn't feel possible, especially not with that pistol round going in favor of Astralis, right? To allow an 11-5 half a chance with the force buy taken into account at a 13-5 scoreline before we had the first rifle come through for Complexity. Really does put into perspective how important winning that force buy in the second round of this second half was for Cole. Now just 2 between them and Astralis, and once again, they've broken down this money. They've ruined the economy of Astralis. You now partially invest what they can and maybe just fall into something kind of primitive like a B play. And that not looking to be the case. Instead, it's all 5 over here towards middle. They run through that Molotov. And they try and clothesline these mid players. 3 here for Cole, though. Right place, right time, and that Molotov denies any kind of trade.
Glaive, man, what a flash. He waited all 3 of his teammates in middle. Don't think that helped either. Otto's going to get pushed back by the Molotov, but Config's there to support, and Device grabs a gun. It's all he has to work with, an AUG. Bomb is loose. Rush is coming up connector, and he's got the quick shot to close it out. Cole onto 10. And where are Astralis? That's the question. Because round by round, slipping by the wayside, this is it. This is a crucial rifle for them to stay in this map. It's no longer under their control. It's Cole taking names and showing a lot of aggression on the CT side. Wonderful stuff. We've not even had to really see any like bomb plant situations, any B takes. Really, the AWP for Otto hasn't had a chance to do much yet. And so all those things are left in the pocket of Cole, things that Astralis don't know what they're like yet. 11 to 10. 1 pause left after this. Glaive's even on an oomp.
Config's been nasty at taking this con control as well. Like, he really, really has. You know, we saw Dupree doing a great job of that in the first half for Astralis. Well, now it's Config's turn. Right, trying to be like, you're not the only Dane who can play this position. And he's been unrelenting in holding that down, and that's denied Astralis a lot of room. They leave the bomb in T-spawn. Now, that's not a everyday Astralis mistake to make. They're going to have to go back and get that. Lane with the aggro in through long will get traded by Dupree, but that's where Config is here to keep the advantage ticking over in favor of Cole. Even though he's traded, that is a lot of damage to Dupree. And Otto now in the long toilets, the AWP maybe not even the ideal weapon for this job, but with Dupree being so low.
Oh, that looked dead on, but the rocks soak shots and won't let you take him down. Otto tries to reroute. He's trapped. Now they know it. Glaive's mollied it off from middle. Dupree has made the call, and they're going to try and isolate this player. Glaive chasing with the UMP, goes right past that player. Otto knows he's kind of stuck here, out on a limb, on his lonesome. Glaive not doubling back just yet. He's waiting for his team to move up long before he does. Very, very careful are Astralis in getting this kill, as it means the world to them. Glaive finally moving back. Otto's checked it enough times. He's not going to be ready again. That's some beautiful patience for Glaive to not just chase the kill while he thinks he has it. Rush has regressed towards Divider. Even if he doesn't make a play here, he can hear them running back down connector, and so that could be info, but Glaive sneaking back out of middle. They're going to go through T-spawn. This one won't be heard, but Rush has cleared everything. He's calling to his teammate. It's either long A or it's B. Those are the only options, and JKS doesn't want to peek long to get that info. It's too big of a risk, and so B will be free. Astralis making it clear now as they run in with 10 seconds remaining. There is no way to stop a bomb plant. Astralis, a man up, should be getting this one down, but oh dear, Heaven Plant almost came through. Instead, it's a little bit safer, and they use the cover. Retake now for Cole, but they are getting sliced and diced up in Heaven, and Rush cleaned up as well. Nice reaction for Astralis there, even though Cole realized it's the question mark of are they long or are they B, and the self-doubt in not wanting to go for that peak, which, if anything, is the right call for JKS, gives Astralis a free B bomb site.
Yeah, I tell you what, though, like, Astralis are lucky that they're able to kind of game the rotate so much there in that 3v2. Because with the lengthy decision to rotate back through T-spawn, they get into B and have enough time to plant with 1 second remaining on that clock. You know, all it would have taken was for, on the back of Rush clearing out mid, to go, JKS, you know what, mate, I think you chance it. I think you head B-ward bound. And suddenly that could have been a very, very different round, right? 1 kill would have completely ruined that for Astralis.
Look at this.
They're going to try and flash all through Monster, all 4. Magis needs to check close, and they don't. That allows the pincer, but Zip is in with the trades. The Galil put to great use, and a 3-on-3 given over. It's not the B play that Astralis wanted, right? Like, they wanted to just completely mow their way in through Monster and get that bomb down, but still, they've made something of this. They don't let those kills go untraded. And if Config stays barrels, he is a dead man. That Molly gonna deny the boost. That's really nice from Blame F.
Yeah, he saves Config's life, although they don't know it. It's a great chance to reset for Astralis. I'm surprised they're still hitting B. There are 2 players here right now, and that's to be expected. They just got these kills a few seconds ago. Config gets spotted on barrels. There's a molly on Glaive. Will they try and reroute and throw that in and catch Config out of position? He's going to move. Get out from the barrels, move to safety as Astralis set their sights elsewhere. It's Oton on A with the AWP. They've worked it out. They've realized who's where. And so they should be expecting an AWP on this top side. Will they be able to deal with it is the question. Oton moving away as Device comes up long with that bomb as well. That kill could win the round with this 15 seconds on the clock. Oton's got it. 10 seconds. They're moving in close, but they're not moving in quick. Astralis need to get their running shoes on, and Glaive does, grabbing that package and getting the plant in the nick of time. It's a 2-on-2 retake. The nade puts him on 8, but it can't stop the inevitability. Retake round for Complexity.
Zip opened this round up with that double trade in Monster, and now he's got to be the Monster to close it out with the double of his own. Glaive, very, very low, playing the divider, just playing around that bomb plant. Zip has to win these fights, and there's the first one going his way. Blame F left in the 1v2, and they're not giving him the fights he's looking for. They just won't give it over. Glaive, hidden, playing the time, playing it to perfection, and there's 13 on the cards now for Astralis. They've got that locked in. And even though Blaine feels certain to get that kill, it's not the round that they so desperately needed.
Oh man, Oton did everything he could have there. He was wrapped from the left side as well. The chase from Glaive into A just to go back and get that bomb. I mean, some of these late round decisions for Astralis, while very risky indeed, they're just perfect. They're beautiful. And again, they're working, right? 2 bomb plants with just seconds remaining. And no one there to stop him. Felt like Oton did everything he needed to do, but it is not enough, and it's Astralis finally coming alive near the end, 13-10, and Cole broken by again. It's Blame with a solo AK. I like the mid push. The aggro CT-sided rounds have been really, really good for Cole in taking that long control, pushing up in mid. The boost checked by Glaive, but it's a late repeak for Rush, and Dupree takes him off the top. Device has let Blame pass, but he does get swiveled on. Forced to take the shot, wanted to get 2 for 1. He might still do it. Bye-bye, Otto. 5-on-2, and this eco is getting cleaned up.
Yeah, JKS had that 1 round with the Deagle and B, but yeah, you're asking a lot of him here. So just Config left to kind of mosey on down, and there it is, Glaive. Here to solidify that 14-10 for Astralis. You know, it started to look a little bit worrisome, right? You started to think, yeah, Complexity, they're getting back into this game. At one point in time, there was just 2 rounds between them and Astralis. And now that gap is widening again. That was on the back of a broken buy, a partial investment for Cole. Now we've got the full thing. One last chance. Try and move back into this game, to try and make something happen on your map pick of Overpass.
Got to give a lot of respect to Cole, right? Like, not only just getting kind of slaughtered on Dust 2, it didn't really feel like they were ever really in that game, but even here, man, it was 10-5 at the half, similar to the first map. Then they lose the pistol again. You're sitting there thinking, well, this one's over. This one's Astralis all over it. Cole have had a really good go at it on this CT side, getting 5 rounds in a row with a lot of nice aggressive setups. Like, I think they deserve respect for that at least. Not to say this is over. They've still got a chance. They've ecoed for this round, but this is getting scary still. Astralis at 14-10. Can Cole whittle them down and keep it going round after round?
If you're Otto, are you playing for yourself or are you playing for the team? I know that's a stupid question. Of course he should be playing for the team, but him and his teammates on Contact, they are up for transfer at the moment. So this is a fantastic shot window for him.
I mean, yeah, well, both, I guess, is the answer then. Of course, you're playing for yourself in terms of you're advertising yourself. You're hoping other people can see your talent and get picked up elsewhere. But at the same time, you're not going to succeed unless you're playing as your team, you know, playing with your team, rather. So it goes hand in hand. Cole, I think of all teams, are a good one to just slot into as a stand-in. You've got a good core. You've got a lot of brain power. You've got a lot of firepower. But, yeah, Astralis on the other side are not making it easy, as we can see. The nade stack avoided at least by Config. Otto doesn't have the AWP, but he is on the AUG. the next best thing?
Oh, it's going to have to be the next best thing. He's rounding this long corner to have a bit of a fight with Device, and he does win that out. So he's able to claim this early man advantage. Astralis in response is sneaking out through the monster tunnel, and Rush is offered up a couple of freebies helped out by JKS. And this B play, bit of an ugly start, has left just Glaive and Zip in the 2v5, now turned 2v4. But the problem they've got right now is that this bomb is in plain view of Complexity. They've rotated all 4 players down into the B site as a result, and Glaive is trying to piece together how he can get this bomb back in his hands. Him and Zipnik's giving this a good run, though. Oh my goodness, down to the 2v2. This was a 2-on-5 when the round started out. And now they're looking to claim their free kill onto JKS as well. They do damage. Zip, tapping Blame over in heaven. They fall back.
The reset.
Because that's the thing, when this was 2v5, they were looking for anything. They were just hoping for kills. And now that they've got them, now that they've got a 2-on-2, they fall out of the sight for a moment, giving the illusion that they could have dastardly, very, very quickly run up through connector into A. The B play coming back in, and that kill from JKS should have just sealed the deal. Zipnix, this might be too much even for him, as Blame's in position just in the nick of time over towards heaven. Complexity, they long this one out, 11 on the board, but the reinvestment primed and ready to go for Astralis.
That is terrifying if you're Cole as well. You're just seeing your players drip down one by one, disappearing. And then, of course, Blame has to rotate when Astralis leave Monster at 30 seconds, even though the time is so low. Think about the amount of rounds that Astralis have done that reset and regrouped in through spawn and hit a site with 10 seconds left. They've done that on A and B in this game. And so Blame can't afford to call the bluff and go, nah, they're waiting outside B. They're waiting for me to rotate. He has to throw himself right up onto that top site. And so he makes the right call, even though they are going back to B. Luckily, he's there in heaven to trade that kill on Zip with just seconds remaining. But if Blame is even faster on his rotate or slower on his rotate back down, that's a plant for Zip in a one-on-one. Like, that's his bread and butter. So really nice try on the 2-on-5. Cole close it out by the skin of their teeth. And look at the devastating effect that that's had to their money. They've got util, sure, but 3 Famises and a Deagle. They had a full buy last round. No AWP again. This is, it's a one round for Complexity, but it certainly doesn't feel like it with the way that it transpires. That could have been them building full money and really giving this comeback a go. Astralis could slip the knife in right now and punish this buy. That would put them on pistols against 15. That would be match point. Where do you go if you're Cole? It's awfully quiet on the server right now.
Seemingly in with the read, though. 3 players over at the A site. They didn't see anything or hear anything early on at B, and Rush was even getting aggressive. Monster side, he would have heard footsteps. He would have seen people. So they know what's going on. Blame F playing this wide angle at Divider. They're not ready for it, but Glaive is still quick off the trigger. They deal with one. That might lull them into a bit of a false sense of security here. This A site's still pretty well endowed, but now that they lose Otto as well, it will fall onto Config, the man who doesn't have a rifle in this round, just a Deeg, and he falls right away. A-site belongs to Astralis, and Complexity can't do anything to change that. They've got to try and hold on to these 2 Famises, and that will be Astralis moving on to 15. Astralis are going to go hunting as well. Like, they've already been so willing to take gunfights, even to their detriment a lot of the time. So now, in this 5v2, when you've already locked in a round win, when you know Complexity have got no money left in these bank accounts, so holding on to the Famises is just paramount. Astralis are going to try and hunt them down.
But not too much. Still reining it in just that little bit. But that is still a dire sentiment, right? Desperately saving Famises of all guns, nothing behind it. It's Cole up against 15. Astralis have done it. It got a little bit scary here in the second half. We had some great CT rounds. They have netted 6 so far, but will it all be for nothing? Will it all be in vain? Astralis look to make that the case. Great fast entries out from mid, or out from Glaive in mid, walking through the smoke, taking Otto, And Config cleaned up on truck as well. Cole may have had the read. They may have had the AAA setup, but not a single trade in that defense. 15 to 11. And here's the desperation buy for Complexity. Astralis go back to middle. Zip selling B with early utility as usual. Otto does have that scout. He's jumped up into the party. Device is looking for him above the smoke. That drop gets heard by Glaive. Blaming Con as well. Not a position Colin used too much on the CT side. And as the smoke fades, Config is picked up in middle. Going from bad to worse here for Complexity. Another player down. The sniper battle won by Device. And they are isolating Blame in the connector.
Yeah, this is a really horrible spot for Blame F, man. Like, he knows his time is limited. It's just a question of what can he get away with. And with 10 HP on this UMP, you're not hoping for a lot. Blame F, even a 1-for-1 here would be impressive. And Zip, yeah, he's seen him, he's seen the barrel, he locks in that kill, and with it, likely the game at this point for Astralis. It feels unlosable. It's these two saved Famuses back again. Remember them from last round? Well, they've now got to step up and do it all. Is this the save that somehow turns around a 2v5 to give Complexity a chance? Or is this Astralis walking it over the finish line, finally, you know, dealing with a threat that they couldn't in that last round? Glaive going to clear out A, moving in alone. Doesn't even have to be the commitment at this point for Astralis. And it might not be with that kill going in favor of Rush. They take the bomb down B, they haul it, but JKS and Rush, they're one step ahead, they're already here. And with time now looking to be a problem, even dropping this bomb could be enough. However, Magisk and Zip get it locked in. Astralis, they do it, 2-0.